right here with Calderon from Boxing Talk. Make sure you guys follow this channel. Thanks.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's Boxing Talk. This Saturday, November 3rd, it's the big Mexican showdown between WBC Super Featherweight champion Miguel Berchelt taking on Miguel Mickey Roman. This is a great matchup at 130 pounds in the junior lightweight division between two Mexican warriors. This fight right here is going to be taking place on ESPN Plus app. I know it's the live stream app. A lot of people are not a fan of this app right here. I personally like DAZN much better. But this is basically what we're getting right now. It's the new wave. And it's a great fight. You know, I wish it was on regular ESPN, but unfortunately, it's going to be on the Plus app. But it's a fight that you do not want to miss because it is a great fight for Fight of the Year candidate. It's going to be an all-out war between these two because stylistically, these guys are come-forward fighters. They're brawlers. These guys like to let their hands fly, and it's going to be a hell of a fight, and I can't wait for this fight. I believe that Miguel Berchelt is the best 130-pounder in the division. You know, a lot of people might feel that Gervonta Tank Davis is the #1 guy in the division, but let's be realistic. Gervonta Tank Davis is perhaps the most talented fighter at 130 pounds. Without a question or a doubt, this guy has tremendous hand speed and punching power and great skills. He can box, but who has he really beaten in the division to be considered #1? Let's look at his resume. He's undefeated. You know, he's knocked out a lot of guys in that division. The two top names in his resume is Jose Pedraza, who's now a 2-division world champion, a very good Puerto Rican fighter that he knocked out, and also Argentinian fighter who's also a former world champion, and Jesus Quasar. That was a very good, impressive win. I was there live at the Barclays Center to watch Gervonta Davis destroy this man in spectacular fashion very early in this fight. I think he's one of the best in the division for sure, #2 in my book. Now, a lot of guys is looking at Puerto Rican sensation Alberto Machado. This kid right here is a very big junior lightweight in the division. He's about 5'10", 5'11", very tall, very rangy, explosive knockout power, and he's a southpaw. He's a very dangerous fighter, but I'm not sold on this guy just yet. I know he's Puerto Rican, and it's great that he's representing the island, and he's an up-and-coming fighter, a young fighter that holds the real WBA Super Featherweight title, not Gervonta Davis, who holds a secondary title in that weight division. But where's he gonna go right now after his last performance where he destroyed American fighter Evans in just 1 round? But this guy was also knocked out in the first round against Javier Fortuna. So, you know, it wasn't that really impressive to me the way he took care of this guy because he's already been knocked out in the same fashion. So, you know, a lot of people are raving and talking about Alberto Machado, and he's so great. You know, the only notable guy on his resume right now is Jezreel Corrales. That was an impressive win, but he also hit the deck in that fight and came back in the 8th round to stop Jezreel Corrales to win the world title. And now he's a world champion, and he's definitely a guy to look out for in the division as an undefeated fighter. But to me, Miguel Berchelt from Mexico is the top guy at 130 pounds because when you look at his resume, he beat 2 of the top 3 guys that are in the junior lightweight division, and that was against Japanese Takashi Mura. This kid right here had an excellent battle against Mura. This was a great fight, a Fight of the Year candidate type fight. And then you have also the war that he had against the former world champion that was the top guy at 130 pounds, and that was Mexico's Francisco Vargas. That was a great fight where he stopped Vargas in the 11th round, and he captured the world title to become the WBC champion. Those 2 fighters right there are way better than anybody that Machado or even Gervonta Tank Davis has faced throughout their career. And Miguel Berchelt looked impressive against both of those guys and beat both of those guys, so he deserves the #1 spot at 130 pounds. Now, you have Gervonta Tank Davis that's promoted by Floyd Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather Promotions, and he has a lot of guys behind him that are backing him up to become the money man of the division because he's a hot ticket seller right now, and he puts fans in seats. People love to see Gervonta Tank Davis, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he is the top dog dog at 130 pounds just because he brings in a fan base. You know, he's definitely the most talented. I will not question that whatsoever. He is the most talented fighter, but he needs to fight top guys in the division. You also have Tevin Farmer, who is the IBF junior lightweight champion of the division. Perhaps one of the most talented fighters in the division as well, right next to Gervonta Tank Davis. And that's a fight that Tevin Farmer has been asking for. It's a fight that must happen. You know, I know he's over in the zone with Eddie Hearn, and it's a great opportunity where they have offered Tank Davis a 3-fight deal with more money than he's ever made throughout his career. But they're holding out. They're saying they're not interested in him fighting over there in the zone. They even asked for a 1-fight deal so that Tevin Farmer and Gervonta Davis could finally have this fight. You know, Davis said, you have to get a title first before we even step into the ring. Now, Tevin Farmer has fulfilled that. He's become a world champion, but Floyd Mayweather and his team are for some reason shelving Gervonta Tank Davis. And this guy has a lot of problems outside of the ring where he needs to address those things, but he's not active, and he needs to be in the ring, and he needs to continue to fight big fights. This is a great opportunity for a 1-fight deal so that he could get that big payday and he could fight Tevin Farmer to unite his title and Tevin Farmer's IBF title and become a real champion in the division to really prove a statement and beat this man, because I believe he could beat Tevin Farmer. I like Tevin Farmer. He's an excellent defensive fighter, a slick boxer, but I see Gervonta Tank Davis as a better fighter that could perhaps not only stop him, but win a unanimous 12-round decision when it's all said and done. I picked Gervonta Tank Davis over Tevin Farmer. And then you have Alberto Machado that has said that he is the real champion, not Gervonta Tank Davis. That's a great fight to put together, but he's calling out Francisco Vargas. And that's a great matchup. That's a Mexico versus Puerto Rican showdown. I think that Francisco Vargas is a little bit on the downside. He's been in a lot of wars. And I'll tell you the reason why he called out a guy like Francisco Vargas instead of calling out Miguel Berchelt, because that's a Mexican Puerto Rican showdown as well. Why you don't want to face the big top dog of the division? I'll tell you why. Because of the politics of boxing. Miguel Cotto promotes Alberto Machado, and also Francisco Vargas is promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. And Cotto and Oscar De La Hoya have a relationship where they do fights together, and Golden Boy helps Cotto promote some of his fighters. And Machado is basically being led to face Francisco Vargas in the near future. But I believe it's a winnable fight for Machado to beat a guy that's pretty worn down in Francisco Vargas. He's only lost once, and it was a stoppage against Miguel Berchelt. And it's a fight that I believe that Alberto Machado will definitely stop him in that fight, because I see that he's a little bit of a shot fighter. But we have to see how that fight is going to play out. I believe that this fight right here is definitely another top-notch fight for Miguel Berchelt facing Mickey Roman, and it's going to be an excellent fight, another Fight of the Year candidate, and I think that this fight definitely is going to solidify the placement of Miguel Berchelt as the #1 fighter at 130 pounds. Like I said, his resume with these 3 fighters alone that he has faced is better than anyone else than Gervonta Tank Davis or even Alberto Machado has fought. And that's why I place him as the #1 super featherweight junior lightweight champion. So tune in to ESPN Plus app. You gotta subscribe. It's $4.99 a month. It's just unfortunate that HBO didn't pick up this fight, because HBO had invested in both of these fighters. I guess they didn't want to put this fight on their network so that the fans could really enjoy this fight, and we have to watch it on ESPN Plus. But that's my final analysis on the upcoming fight. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to this YouTube channel right here, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please hit that little red subscribe button. Put your email information in so you get all my notifications. Once I drop a new video, hit that bell icon, hit that like button, drop a comment, share this video. Follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter, and also join the Facebook boxing group page. All under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support. Keep watching, and please subscribe.